fast life, the fast living. They see the ambition, they know I'm past driven. Look, we are not the same, this is not a game. I be swerving through the city in and out of lanes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Spot Real Talk. My name is Tiara.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Ron.
And we are here to discuss another amazing episode of BMF. This was a really, really good one. Season 2, episode 9, titled High Treason. And before we get started with the conversation, please make sure you click that subscribe button, the notification bell, and the like button. So you can help support our channel, keep us afloat, help us to grow, all those things. So without further ado, because I know we've been busting at the seams to talk about this episode.
Okay.
So much went down, and I think we're gonna kick it off with your boy Lamar.
Yeah, okay. Let me say this before we start, because I'm gonna take a little behind whooping right now. And I just want you to let y'all know I'm gonna take it like a man. But here it comes. No, go do your thing.
I'm waiting for you to just let me know that I was right.
That's all
that I was right.
Oh, you want me to say you were right?
Yeah, you know I was right. I said, and the
okay.
viewers know that I said, I said that you said that it was a smart idea for Monique to do what she did with Lamar.
I did,
and I told you that I thought it was dangerous.
Yes,
and
you did.
I understood what you know, the plan is the sneak attack, the Samson Delilah technique, whatever. However, that guy is crazy. He crazy, and then he was high, and it was just too dangerous. And he knew that everybody was after him. And somebody like that is probably sleeping with one eye open at all times. So it just was not a good move. Plus, she was on the stuff too. The fact that she was getting high and everything too, she didn't have a clear mind as well. So it was a recipe for disaster, and that's why it ended the way it did.
Yeah.
All right. Well, a woman's intuition seems to win over it once again. However, I have to say, yes, you were right.
Common sense.
No. It was common sense. What I wasn't expecting her to do was have some crack, because everybody knew what crack would do, and it didn't take much for Lamar to think, wait a minute, she want me to smoke this crack after already snorting the cocaine, and now he's going to get down on some crack. So I just didn't expect that. And I'm going to tell you the honest to God truth, when he came in with the ring and the $30,000 college fund, I'm thinking, dang, you think my girl going to get a second opinion about what she needs to do? You know, that was my first thought.
He was definitely softening her up.
Huh?
He was
definitely softening her up.
Yeah, and I figured, oh, well, maybe she might, have a change of heart. That was my first thought. And then, it got down to where it got down, but
yeah. And the thing is, I think the crack was a terrible idea.
Yes,
because I mean, the most it's going to do is get you addicted that soon. It's not enough to kill you right away.
Right.
And that's what she really needed, was swift action. You cannot afford to take your time with somebody crazy as Lamar.
But I
thought it was spiked. I thought it was spiked. That's why I thought she was getting ready to.
I don't know what they were, but see, they didn't have fentanyl back then. Fentanyl, if they had that back then, that one hit, she would have been gone. But, I did say whatever she did had to be swift and immediate. And see, because, you were right, Tiffany, about what your mom said. The crazy people are smart, and we don't mean to say crazy, but
y'all get the point.
Yeah, you get the point. And they are. They're crazy smart. And so, and Lamar proved that. But if you're dealing with somebody like that, first of all, you got to know who you're dealing with. And apparently, old girl didn't.
And the crazy part was that she really tried to fight back. She hit him with the base over the head.
She threw some hooks while she was being strangled. I'm like, go girl.
Kick to the crotch
she did.
And kick him in the gonads twice. Huh?
Right. He's still a man. He crazy. He was high.
Yeah, but those are some
blows. Those are just serious blows.
I mean, any lesser of a man would have gone. He would have gone
but
down.
I guess you turn into the Incredible Hulk when you on them drugs.
I guess so.
Yeah, and he's still a man. She's still a woman. And it reminded me, I was saying to y'all off camera, that scene reminded me of the Tommy and Holly scene when he killed Holly, because he was also high on coke when he strangled Holly and stuff. So it's unfortunate. And Meech tried to talk her off the ledge in the beginning, and he said, "Don't do it. I can't have the mother of my kids doing this." And it now it's cost him the mother of his kid.
Yeah, it was a crime of passion.
Yeah. But how stupid can Lamar be?
You talking about answering the phone?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a bad move.
I'm trying to even think of why he would do that. I mean, that again is crazy.
He panicked.
I think he did panic, and he's like, okay, so if nobody answers the phone, then they're gonna start like suspecting something. They're gonna send the cops here right away to check on her or something. Somebody. So I think he was like, I gotta at least try to calm the waters so that nobody suspects anything is off.
She could have been in the bathroom. Yeah, because she could have been in the bathroom. She could have may have run out for a minute. Anything but answering the phone and putting yourself right there at the scene.
Hello, and then Zoe got to hear his voice. You could hear the panic in his voice.
Oh, the moment.
And I think kids are very perceptive.
Oh yeah. The moment she heard his voice, she knew something was wrong.
And she also was disgusted by him because he was like, "I love you." She was like, "Click."
She right.
Yeah, she said, "When the last time I heard that?"
Yeah, I think she was done with him after he put his hands on.
Right. Yeah.
She was done with them.
Poor cousin Alvin just got to take the abuse too and be the cleanup man on top of that.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, can't even watch his favorite TV show without my boy.
I waiting for Alvin to put his foot down with Lamar.
I don't know if he's gonna do that because Lamar.
No, I think it's coming.
It's coming and stuff.
It's coming.
I don't know because Lamar's crazy.
No, it's coming. It may not be in the way that we're thinking. It's like not putting hands on him and stuff, but I think it's coming because everybody has their limits.
Yeah,
no, we would hope.
Family or not.
I mean,
so how do you guys think Meech deals with this once he finds out? Because I know we seen the previews next week, and it looked like he might be going after Lamar. It looked like he about ready to put him 6 feet under.
See, my problem with that whole scene, even though it was quick, we don't really know what's going to happen until next week. But y'all talk too much. You got that gun right at his head. The next thing we should have heard was pow. I don't have nothing to say to you after you didn't kill my baby's mama. And what else can I
kill her though? They're not really killers for real.
Okay, but
I was about to say that.
You don't pick up a gun unless you plan to use it. You don't use a gun unless you plan to kill. There are no other things to that.
Right.
Okay. So if you're gonna go through all that, then go through it.
Yeah. Now if we talk about something else that happened in the heat of the moment, Miss Lucille, this week, Miss Lucille gets the game ball for me.
Yes, she
all
does.
Day long.
Yes, she does.
But man,
and I was rooting for the skillet.
Well, before we even talk about the skillet, she got Charles a little get back. She told him that she was going out with the pastor. She made it known I don't have no curfew. And I was like, that's how you give them a taste of their own medicine.
I guess. But
and
with
it
the
don't
pastor
feel good
too.
when the shoe is on the other foot, huh?
And with the pastor, I mean, it's one thing for her to be going out with, say, somebody, a stranger, but you're going out with the pastor, and you know how he is.
And we already know Pastor Swift be cutting up, feeling on her knees and some more stuff.
Pastor was tripping, and you see when she rejected him, he was talking about we gonna split this check down the middle.
Oh my God!
Look, I was like, Miss Lucille, you sure you want to get back into the dating arena? Because from what I hear, the dating pool got pee in it. So I don't know.
It's true. But
Pastor Swift proved they're right.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be a man of God. And the thing is, she wasn't, even though she went out there like she was going on a date, she really was looking for counsel.
Right.
And he had other ideas.
Yeah, he would have definitely took her up if she had put it out there.
Yeah.
Which shows you what kind of pastor he is. So
well, I Pastor Slick. I mean, they're dime a dozen.
Maybe you better call on Mabel then.
Look,
that's a good match.
Exactly. I was about to say, because Mabel really tried to play it cute. Like she was so modest and she didn't mean to hurt Lucille, but she was acting completely opposite with Charles. She was very forward, very aggressive and assertive. So it's like, I was glad when Miss Lucille told her off. She's like, here I am. thinking Charles is over there fixing your shed, but instead he touching up them dry walls of yours. I was like, go off, Miss Lucille.
Yes.
Oh my God, that was a good comeback.
Yeah, it was.
But my thing was when she put those matches on the table. My thoughts were, how dumb can you be? Although I guess she didn't know about the receipt, which is another problem that I got with Charles. I'm beginning to get on your side about Charles. I mean, first of all, Charles, you got caught. And what you should have done was call old girl and said, God, she found the receipt or in my pocket. And that way, at least, maybe Mabel would have taken everything out of her purse that, attributed to the hotel. I don't know, but you would think that he would have called and
I think
said
she
something.
thought that she could keep it low enough, like nobody would ever find out.
Yeah, because he didn't disclose who. She
No.
knew he was cheating, but she just didn't know with who.
That's what I'm saying. But if Lucille hadn't found the receipt, those matches wouldn't have meant anything to her. So that's why Charles should have picked up the phone and said, look, Lucille found the receipt, yada yada yada, keep your mouth closed, don't say anything, do blah blah, whatever. But again, that silence will kill you.
Well, first off, Miss Mabel had a lot of nerve coming over there, and she was returning the skillet, but she should have been borrowing anything from Lucille, knowing what she was doing. Behind her back and stuff. So she was foul. And
I was hoping that I was one side of me wanted to see that skillet flying, and the other side of me.
I guess we can already say, since we said in the other recap that we spoke to Nicole Brianna White, and you guys will see that interview soon, who plays Lucille. The Holy Spirit saved her from Lamar, and I think Holy Spirit saved Mabel and Charles from the skillet.
Yeah, I mean, because she's a woman of God. I mean, she might have lost her religion for a second because she was cursing up a storm, but she was pissed off rightfully. And I think that Lucille is still a woman of God, and you're absolutely right about that spirit. Like, she's still a good woman at heart, and even though she's pissed, it won't allow her to go too far with it.
Well, she's human, so nobody's perfect.
Exactly, and I thought she deserved the skillet. She would have she could have repented. She would have got forgiveness later.
And even if she didn't repent, that's just one mark. I mean,
exactly. I was like, listen, Mabel, that's when she deserved a Black Diamond treatment.
Yeah, and I gotta give Nicole like a round of applause, standing ovation for that performance.
I thought she deserved a game ball
because the way the emotion like switched up, she went from pleading her case to Mabel, telling her about the affair and whatnot, and the way her emotions and her face and whole demeanor just shifted when you seen that matchbook. Like, you could tell that she was like visibly shaken, and Nicole did such a wonderful job portraying that on screen.
She did.
It was masterful.
She did.
Master. Yeah.
Go off.
Yes, game ball, much deserved.
And she tore up the instruments too, the guitars and everything.
Right. Like, now, who I really feel bad for is Nicole. Because she's kind of stuck in the middle here. She was asking Charles, who am I going to stay with when y'all divorced? And she also was like the one to tell him, Daddy, I think you need to leave right now. You've done enough.
Yeah.
It was hard for her to witness that.
That for a father right there, if everything that has transpired didn't affect you, when your daughter tells you to leave, nothing worse than that.
Yeah, when your wife tell you any ounce of love I have for you is gone. I don't love you no more. Like, those some harsh words to hear. So,
well, the first thing he foolishly said, I don't love her, I love you. You don't make an excuse of screwing the neighbor with that kind of lame excuse. Your best bet would have been to sit down on the couch, keep your mouth closed, answer any questions she may have, take a beat down because you're going to get one.
Apologize,
and hopefully you can work it out. But that lame excuse, that didn't. All that did was fuel more fire in Lucille.
Right, because you don't love me acting like this.
Yeah,
because and I'm not saying he doesn't love her, but the thing is, if it had happened once, people make mistakes and stuff. But he leaned into that thing.
Yeah,
he leaned into it
Literally.
And literally, yeah, leaned into it. Had Mabel not broken it off, he probably still would have been doing that. So that's where
Absolutely.
it doesn't seem like there was any repentance.
Yeah, I agree. So we're gonna have to keep Lucille in our thoughts and prayers and pray sis can push through this one.
Yeah.
So
And Charles is still on our hands list.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Charles and Mabel.
so we love you, but Charles is still on our hands list.
Yeah, so I don't know where Charles goes after this. You know, maybe he'll hook up with Meech, and Meech might try to find him a place or something.
Well, listen, it seems like now that this situation has happened, it you know, before he was kind of like pious and being self-righteous when dealing with, you know, Meech and Terry. And I think now he might have a little more understanding and might have a better relationship with his kids now because he can't be so judgmental now.
He can identify.
I believe it. Yeah.
Makes sense.
So if we talk about, you know, Terry and Meech and B Mickey making their trip down to Atlanta for Freaknik. So the trip was a multi-purpose trip. So they were first of all going down there to try to set up shop in Atlanta, you know, get their connects established and whatnot. But they were also going down there to ditch B Mickey. And, you know, at first he made it seem to B Mickey like you can go down there, you can be in charge of your own territory, set up shop, you know, you'll enjoy it down there. But Terry had other plans.
You know, I tell you about Terry.
We said Terry did have other plans.
And you know, Meech kind of rolled over and went along with it too at one point in time. So yeah, I was kind of shocked at that because I know that B Mickey is really like a brother to Meech. And let's say, oh boy, that Terry hired the exterminator. If he had been successful in taking B Mickey out, then Meech would have been culpable in his murder. Which I mean, just because you didn't kill him directly, don't mean that you're still not, you know, on the hook for that. But so since the shooter missed, you know, B Mickey was still alive to confront them both. And so I was like, you know, Meech said that they would, you know, work it out as brothers and try to go directly at the source of who was trying to break them up, who was Detective Bryant. But I'm just like, if I'm B Mickey and I know that you tried to take me out, I don't know how I feel about you wanting to be buddy again.
Well, I think he thinks it's probably more of Terry's doing than Meech, because Meech did get the drop on him and didn't.
But Meech went along with it.
Yeah, but he could have pulled the trigger, and he didn't. You know, and that and really that says a lot more to me because, you know, B Mick has a gun on your brother and cock with the you know, and cock back, so the slightest sneeze could have, you know, caused that gun to go off. Now, the fact that he decided not to kill B Mick is to me, he still wants to work with B Mick, and I just don't understand how much you can get out of that. It's a fait accompli as far as I'm.
No, I you know what? I got 2 points I wanted to make on that. Like first about B Mick. B Mick knew what time it was because he saw Terry. They didn't know. That was like he peeped game. He's street smart too. And he peeped game. He saw Terry with the hitter in the parking lot. You know, so he recognized him in the club. And then one of the things he said when he got to the club was, you know, I can't believe I feel naked without my strap. And you know that's a setup too. When somebody asks you to come somewhere and you know he always is strapped. Right. So he's like, they asked me to come here. And then I see Terry talking to the same dude that I saw. So he knew that was sus, number one. And then on Meech's side, Meech, he had 2 conversations in this episode talking about the meaning of family. And so when Taiwan, what's the name? Ty Washington, who's fine.
Yeah, he is.
Go Young Miami, go. Anyway, I was like, dang, that's a fine one. But anyway, when Ty said something about family, and that meant more to him than hustling, I saw Meech's face. You know, he talked about that, and then also Goldie said it to him too when she talked about I take care of my baby sister, people you care for. So I think that really struck a nerve with Meech. And so at the end, he was just like, especially when B Mickey said, "Look, I've killed for you," which he has. He killed his baby mom.
He said, "I'm even still willing to die for you now."
Yeah. So that's all of those things. When it came down to it, he was like, "This is my brother from the second grade."
And there was something else said when they were at Freaknik, and old boy was cutting up, filling people up or whatnot, and he was trying to get his boy to correct him. And he told him, like, people like that are a liability. He was like, you got to nix him out of the crew, or else they going, the second that they get to go and rat you out, they're going to do it. And B. Mickey was kind of like standing there listening in. And I was like, okay, so he must be picking up all the hints of everything that's going on around him. First, Meech says that. Then Terry is suspiciously meeting up with this dude in the parking lot. Then he sees them together again in the club. And then, as they're leaving the club, Terry and Meech walk one way and he walking another. So it's like everything just lined right up. And B. Mickey is smart. Like, I know that he has been going through a lot, but he pays attention to the details for the most part.
So where does this put Terry and Meech? Because obviously they seem to be on different pages. I don't think Terry is finished with B. Mick one way or the other.
Terry got bigger problems on the horizon.
He sure does.
Yeah, you know what? I forgot about the upcoming problems that Terry is having now.
Yes.
So so B. Mick really gotta, he's
about to get a pass.
Yeah, his angels showed up. So
the circumstances just gave him a pass because he got that call in the end from Markeisha, and she lets him know that Boom has been arrested. To which Terry is aware of the photos of him and Markeisha getting it on, and he knows that Detective Bryant will try to leverage those pictures to get Boom to rat them out.
And we told him, and we said in one of our shows that he needs to leave that old woman alone because she was bound to get him in trouble.
Look,
not
right, but you do know that I seen the previews for next week, and it looked like they rolling together in the car somewhere. So I'm like, Terry cannot leave her alone. He is whipped. Okay. And that might cost him because, Boom snitching on him is the least of his worries. Boom is going to be pissed. He might send people after him to try to kill him for what he did to, taking his wife and whatnot. So that's something you don't play around with. Men have gigantic egos when it comes to being betrayed. Yes.
They're women.
So that might be even worse than ratting them out. And then, so we talked about the connections that Meech was trying to establish. We talked about Ty Washington. It was unfortunate that he had to die, but we got to talk about Young Miami's performance because it is all the talk on socials.
I saw she was trending.
And I thought she was true to herself. It's what you would expect of Young Miami, leading up into the episode. But once we got into that scene where she got the news that Ty had died, I was expecting a little bit more emotion from her.
Thank you.
And yeah, it just was not befitting of somebody who had just lost their husband.
It was extremely disingenuous. And I thought, I said, that's some pretty bad acting. I mean, look, okay. Come on now. Okay. Come on.
It's the spot real talk.
Look, this is the spot real talk now. Okay. I'm just laying it out there. Okay. Because, I'm thinking, girl, I mean, fall down, roll over, do something. Your baby was just lost. And you just said to Meech that he was a bad influence. And he comes back to your house to let you know that your man is gone. And you just sit there and okay. I'm sorry.
That's all I see, and I hollered. I was like, "Oh my God, this is not supposed to be a funny scene." But
yeah, and you go take care of whoever did that. I'm like, okay, girl, that's all we got. Okay, this is a wrap.
All right, not too much on Carisha though. Not too much.
Right. We like her act up, get smacked up. We like the city girls over here. Anyway, I like Cash Bell's performance. I think she's a little more seasoned, and I think we need to give
Carisha some time.
Give her some time.
Look, we're just talking about this one act, okay? It was bad, and maybe when time it'll work itself out.
Mm-hmm. Well, we hope to see her in some more projects.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, moving right along.
Hey, y'all leave me out there hanging too much. You know it was bad. Come on, I shouldn't be the
Look,
only
said
one.
We co-signed. We did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all co-sign in a real light way. Y'all
Yeah,
use
we could be real.
y'all use that invisible ink. You know, as soon as it dries.
Look, we trying to be at least constructive.
I was like, Cash Doll, I think, is more seasoned and stuff. And I think you can tell. I've seen some of Cash Doll's interviews, and she said that, you know, she worked with Tasha Smith, who coaches and stuff. And you could tell. You could tell. I think, you know, we definitely gotta give, you know, young Miami some more time, because she, you know.
Yeah. Hanging there, sis. But moving to Goldie, because we kind of talk about her and her sister a little bit, but she also set Meech up with a girl named Stephanie, who was supposed to help him out with the real estate. So it looks like Meech is on the right path to building up his stash houses or whatnot, and he earned Goldie's trust. You know, he charmed her right into that deal. So it worked out for him. But I was also going to mention that scene that Meech had up in the strip club. And I'm like, now, I know we see a lot on television, and the sex scenes can get steamy, but I was not anticipating full frontals showing the genitals and whatnot.
Yeah, that was...
that caught me off guard.
Yeah, I was a little thrown. That was... So,
I mean, I know we had Meech on to talk about the interview, and we interviewed him about his performance this season, but it would be interesting to hear his perspective about how it is filming some of those scenes, because I know that has to be uncomfortable. And a lot of the actors that we interview that do those types of scenes, they say as much. It is very technical and it's a little awkward, but it's really not how it comes off once you get the finished product. Either way, I was just like, that was like little Meech and graduated to Big Meech, apparently.
Yeah, well, I mean, no. Well, come on now. It could have been a dildo.
It could have been a whole.
I'm just saying,
prosthetic. Well, I'm just saying, I think, wow, the fact this is only his second season, you know, being in acting ever, you know, and stuff. So I'm like, wow, he's doing big things.
I mean, solid performance.
I'm sorry. Wait.
I'm talking about acting.
I know you're all, you know how things just go.
I know, don't. This is not a double entendre.
No, okay.
No, it's not. It's not a double entendre. I'm just talking about acting for him. Yes, like absolutely before the show, he had never acted before, and now
I hear you.
Graduated to some
big things.
Sex scene.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, thank you for cleaning that up for me.
I just thought that was interesting. That caught me all the way off guard, and I was like, if we're gonna be real, we got to talk about this, because I'm sure the viewers, I mean, they might have enjoyed it, but you know, I always think about the technicalities behind it, and you know, was it a double? Was it actually him? And was it uncomfortable? What was it like filming that? So if we ever get him back,
and he said size 15 shoe. I don't believe it.
Well, that would explain the prosthetic then, you know. Okay, let me get off this.
No, I'm only saying that because we went to the season 1 premiere. We saw him from afar. Like, I don't believe he wears size 15.
Well,
no, I mean, that would, a size 15 for someone who's not even 6 feet. Yeah,
right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's something else.
Yeah, that was. He looked like a clown.
Yeah, so on to Detective Brian and Jen, because you know, Brian actually has an issue with his son this week. Kevin is feeling very insecure and, you know, unsafe, I would say, because the break-in that occurred, he's thinking it's the kids from school. He doesn't want to be at home. He doesn't want to be at school. So he asks, can he go back to his mom's house? To which, you know, Detective Brian obliges him. But I'm thinking the fact that B. Mickey cost him his son, he might come back with a serious vendetta, and it might get ugly. So I was just like, I was worried about that situation there. And I think Detective Jen is also, you know, irritated with Bryant too, because he keeps withholding information from her, and it's only through her snooping that she finds out the truth. But I understand him saying he wanted to protect her so that she could have like plausible deniability in the situation. Yeah. But at the same time, they're they're police officers. They're always in the line of fire. And so by you withholding information, it kind of puts her at risk as well, because you never know when somebody's going to pop up trying to get back at you for something you did.
And the fact that they're sleeping together, that doesn't make it any easier as well. I mean,
exactly.
So maybe this indifference between them keeps their head on straight. You know, you could see in Detective Bryant's eyes when she came back to bed, he suspected something. He didn't know quite what it was, but you know,
he knew she was snooping. It reminded me of the Angela Valdez and Ghost, because you know that's what she was doing, snooping when she was over his place.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know how long their relationship or their partnership is going to hold up. I mean, they seem like they got that good news about Boom, and they're ready to kind of pursue that route to take down both Terry and Meech and the cartel.
And K9. Yeah, because K9 got busted too. So they hoping that he'll snitch.
So, you know, Terry and Meech, they got a lot on their shoulders right now. A lot of targets on their back. And you kind of heard it in the voiceover at the end. Because of all the infighting, they haven't been paying attention to the people around their enemies closing in on them. So I really hope they get it together. I hope, you know, for the season finale, we don't lose anybody major. I seen it looked like Meech is holding a gun to Lamar's head. It definitely looked like Terry and Markeisha was out and about, you know, living life, having fun. But I'm like, that's bold when her man is locked up. I don't know. It looks like it's definitely going to be a very, you know, crazy season finale with all that's going on. So I'm looking forward to it. Do you guys have any thoughts or predictions you want to add before we close out?
I was going to say, I thought it was an interesting perspective with Goldie's sister, because during that time with the 80s and everything, 90s and stuff, you know, AIDS was kind of new to the scene and stuff. And you know, before she even said it was AIDS, I remember I was talking to my son watching it. When I saw the lesions and stuff and how sick she was, I suspected that that's what it was. So it, you know, interesting way to introduce that to the plot line and everything.
And quite realistic in and of itself too.
It was,
because you know. But anyways, my other thought was Detective Bryant and his son, because obviously his son isn't built the way he is. And I think, you know, I understand a man's position, you know, wanting a son to, you know, like father, like son type of analogy. But, you know, he has to accept the son for who he is. And besides, his son is young. You know, it doesn't mean he won't grow up to be more of a man. You know, you just have to allow him to be who he is and what he is at this point in time.
I ain't gonna lie though, Kevin irritated me. I was like, this boy whine all day, every day.
I mean, he's okay.
But I get what you're saying. I mean, he was justified for feeling unsafe, but I'm like, my God, this boy whine the whole series.
You know, I think it's tough for some fathers that when they have sons and they want their sons to be a certain way, and you know, and Bryant considers himself to be a tough guy, and he wants his son to be like him. And I thought about even with going back to Power, you know, with Kanan, because Sean wasn't built like that either. And remember, Kanan was really disappointed in Sean because Sean was nothing like him.
Right. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if they bring Kevin back into the storyline at some point later on. So.
I think so.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think Kevin is there for a reason.
Okay. All right. Well, we got a lot to look forward to then. So this season is winding down. Like I said, next week will be the finale. So definitely looking forward to that. All the viewers, please drop down in the comment section and give us your thoughts on this episode as well as your predictions for the big finale. We are looking forward to reading. Also, make sure you subscribe to our channel, push the like button and the notification bell so you get alerted whenever we post. We have a lot of great interviews coming up soon. We already mentioned the McCall White interview that will be releasing shortly. And we have just now had the interview with B. Mickey's character as well as LaWanda's character from BMF. We've also had Alvin on the show to interview him, and Charles, and we talked to Little Meech as well. So check out that interview playlist with all of our BMF episodes. And if you are a fan of the series Your Honor, we got something up our sleeves. So that notification bell is going to be very important. Click it now. Also follow us on social media. We are at The Spot Real Talk on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. So keep up with us there as well. Anything else?
One more thing. I want to ask the audience about some shows that we have not covered on our platform yet that we're interested in covering. Like You. We love You. We've been watching since season 1. We have not covered on this platform. I would like the audience to let us know in the comments if they would be interested in seeing a You recap from us. I know it's on Netflix, so we wouldn't do a week to week. We would probably just do one overall and stuff. And also Succession is coming back in April, I believe. I know I'm a Succession fan. Would y'all be interested in that? We are planning to do Bel-Air, and of course we are covering Pepper Ghost too. So just wanted to get your thoughts in the comments to see what you guys are interested in seeing.
Yeah, let us know. We're happy to hear from you guys as well as take your suggestions. So want to thank you all again for watching. We appreciate you. We love you. And make sure you are back here next week so we can talk about this big finale of BMF. Thanks a lot. Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Yeah, gotta aim for the top like hold up. Yeah, I can never doubt myself, I know better. All of you critics be acting like you know better. Blowing the smoke, but I know when the dust settles that I'm in my element. It's evident that there's levels to the game. All of those dark nights I got then, breaking my back to make it out, got me feeling like rain. I ain't never need your help, I know you wishing me well. A penny for your thoughts, but seeing no change. I snap for the sun like Diddy. The richest got a mad ass son, I'm like Billy. I ain't never switch up.